if we all creators, the only thing to figure out is what's in the way of what we want to create and what's in the way according to what we have created. You don't listen, you're going to miss it. And when I reflected on that, which we all do, even if we don't know we have reflected on it, but when I reflected on it, I started with the man in the mirror. You hear me? That's for somebody. You hear me? That's for all who come across this message. You gotta start with the man in the mirror. You hear me? Being lifetime to lifetime in the mirror of ourselves until wherever we lost contact with ourselves. You hear me? And the mirror got shattered. You don't listen, you gonna miss it. Not yet. You know, y'all know we traveled over here. We traveled over here. When it comes to self-worth, you know, we get busy. And it's an honor. It makes me proud to just be able to say that we get busy. We do deep tissue operations, deep tissue surgery. You hear me? And for those of us who take it seriously, who genuine about it, and who really put in that work, we feel all the better for it. You hear me? Salute to the Cosmic Conscious Family and Soul Tribes. Salute to the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Salute to the peekaboos and passerbys. Stillness, abundance, love, and light, health, and wholeness. 3 times to all who come across this message. Yeah. Every day could be a day, or every day could be a 1,000 lifetimes. I don't even know how many breaths we breathe in the completion of a day and a night. But every day can be a day, depending on where you at with yourself, or every breath could be lifetimes. So, depending on where you at, you can use the day you have for that day you have, or you can use each and every breath to experience a life that you ain't lived. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But you ever find yourself, and we all have, I already know the answer to the question before I ask it, but I gotta ask it anyway to give us the self to question ourselves. But you ever find yourself telling yourself, according to something that may have been going on at some point in your life, if something ain't going on right now, that, man, I'm tired of going through this shit. In the moment that you find yourself telling yourself that, what were you being shown? What was it instructing you to do? What have you gave up in concerning the authority of yourself to find yourself saying, I'm tired of going through this shit? See, I don't been in that space a lot of times, you hear me? I don't been in that space a lot of times. And when we're in those spaces, when we find ourselves in those spaces, it's a time to be real with ourselves. You hear me? And I say that because what's real ain't got nothing to prove. Only people. Marinate on that for a minute. What's real ain't got nothing to prove, only people. So if we're gonna live a life, we can't lose excitement about the life we living. Wherever we find ourselves in it, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm gonna repeat that so y'all can catch it. If we gonna live a life, we can't lose excitement about the life that we living. And I'm saying that for myself too, because the same mental battles y'all go through, I go through the same mental battles. You hear me? The same life situations y'all go through, I go through the same life situations. I'm in human form too, you know. And I don't been under the cloud. I don't been under the water. I don't been under the wave to know what that feel like. But I also know what it feel like to be above the wave and walk on top of the water, or glide on top of the water, or soar on top of the water. You hear me? And everything that has ever happened and anything that will happen will give each and every one of us the opportunity to do the same thing. You see? We get everything we get. Everything we get, we work for to some extent. Now that's gonna mean something different to everybody, you know, especially when it comes to creators. But everything we get, we work for to some extent. But what are we working for? If you found yourself ever saying, I'm tired of going through this, what are we working for? Because anytime we find ourselves saying that, then that's evidence that whatever direction we going, whichever direction we moving in, we need to be going in the opposite direction. Everything we get, we working for, but what are we working for? Have you ever asked yourself that question? And if you haven't tried, you may find this, you may find it's a part of yourself that don't identify with that question the way the part of yourself that you identify with do. You don't listen, you're gonna miss it. It's a part of yourself that may feel different about that question than you do. And I say that because most people think they're working for something or they're working towards something. And I can identify with that. But what are you working for? See, it hit different. It hit different here and now. What are you working for? You hear me? When you ask yourself that from an internal space, from an internal place, and from a deeper place, and a higher place, it's a whole different kind of question. In most cases, it's gonna give us more to look at and more to consider than we have been looking at and that we have considered. You know, it's a head and heart question. It's not a heart or a head question. It's a head and heart question. And when it comes to the head and the heart, it all has to be clear. Everything got to be clear to be in alignment. To be in alignment. And to be in alignment, the head and the heart has to be clear. They have to be ruling in integration and harmony and balance with one another. You know, the head can't be strong over the heart, and the heart can't be strong over the head. That's not balance. See, what's real ain't got nothing to prove. Only people do. Why am I saying this? Because when it comes to the last, when it comes to the least, when it comes to the lost, when it comes to the left out, when it comes to the looked over, and when it comes to the overlooked, you hear me? If it ain't love, if it ain't laughter, if it don't promote life, I ain't taking no more L's. What about you? You hear me? I ain't taking no more L's. What about you? In other words, are you carrying something that don't belong to you? Because yesterday's message led us into review our responsibilities. And review our responsibilities is another way of saying look over our life. You see? So for those of us who took the time to put the application, the exercise that was shared in the practice gave us an opportunity to figure out and to look over and analyze if we carrying something that don't belong to us. Why is that important? Because if you ever find yourself saying, I'm tired of going through this shit, my message to you is the only way to get away from the same shit is to get out the same shit. And the only way to get out the same shit is to get it out of you. You ain't gotta ask me how I know, you hear me? I've been through toxicity, you hear me? I've been through karmic cycles, you hear me? And everybody karma to somebody, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, apply it where it fit, you hear me? But the only way to get out the same shit is to get it out of you. Otherwise, you'll keep attracting it to you. And until we realize that, we'll keep doing the same thing. And until we realize that, we'll keep getting the same thing. You hear me? Think about that for a moment. Think about that through all the moments. Think about that through every moment that you had a moment. Now take all those moments and bring it into this moment. What do you have? How does it define you and what it show you? And most of all, who are you because of it? My name is Sawu. I'm glad to meet you too. I hope you took that opportunity to reacquaint with yourself. You hear me? Now stay in the moment. You heard? Yeah. Recalibrate. Reviewing is about recalibrating. Reviewing is about retuning. Reviewing is about refining. Reviewing is about refreshing. Reviewing is about regeneration. So every time we have to review something, we get to see where it's at. We get to see what the graph, where we at on the graph, what the graph is showing us. You hear me? Every moment, in the moment, you have a moment. You hear me? Be self-aware. Self-awareness take practice. We gotta be consistent. This ain't entertainment, trust me. I may say a lot of things that may be entertaining, you hear me? But this ain't entertainment, you heard? And if you putting in self-work, that means way more to you, to those than they do to those that ain't, you hear me? Self-awareness take practice, which take you through your time, energy, and effort. Cause I can't do it for you, and if I could, I had a heart. At least I have a heart to. You hear me? But no matter how much heart I have to do it for you, I can't do it for you. I can't say I am for you. You hear me? So it's gonna be on you to transmute. It's gonna be on you to transform. You hear me? And I hope we are, and we all are, rather for better or worse, rather we conscious or unconscious. It's all alchemy. You hear me? But it's important to me because I can't let nothing pull me back in the bushes. See, if you here, it's because you can't let nothing pull you back in the bushes. You ain't going back down there. You hear me? You heard? So we're gonna have to apply this alchemy every day: energetic alchemy, emotional alchemy, mental alchemy. For your spiritual alchemy. You heard? Respect the best of yourself Everywhere you find yourself, expect the best of yourself. And you'll know what to do when you don't see yourself wherever you find yourself. You hear me? And may we see ourselves everywhere we go, no matter where we find ourselves. That's gonna conclude the message for today. I ain't come through to say too much, but I needed to come through and say a few things. Salute to all of us who come into this space that chose to heal out loud rather than suffer in silence. You hear me? That's going on. That's going on all around the globe. You hear me? That's why mental health is an issue. You know, all type of stuff happening in the neighborhood near you. You hear me? Yeah. And I just want to encourage us to stay mindful, stay alert, stay aware, stay positive, stay inspired, stay motivated. I ain't say it was easy, you know, and I know it take effort, but I know we can do it. You hear me? Emoji for the night. Emoji for the night. Cup. Keep your cup full of love. We're going to place a cup in the emoji section. Keep your cup full of love. You hear me? The more we all come together, it all going to come together. Like I said, we're going to finish this one better than we started it. Put your cup in the comment section for your raffle submission. It will be a cup. Put your cup. I'm gonna say it again so the new subscribers get it. Put your cup in the comment section for your raffle submission at the end of the month. And other than that, feel good for no reason at all. Feeling good is feeling God. Whatever you know that as, it's your divinity. It's your source. And stay love. Peace. My name